Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a look outside that weather window from this afternoon. And how about this beautiful dramatic video taken high above the Wenatchee Valley from the Wenatchee Heights in our cross camera. We call it the cross camera up there. And what a beautiful shot. You can see the clouds rolling in. We did see some scattered shower activity at times throughout north central Washington and some windy conditions, especially up around the Mansfield, Waterville area and also around the Columbia Basin. And as we move forward and look forward to our weather, this is what we expect. There's a huge polar vortex moving down from Canada. We've been talking about it this week, and that's going to sink down all the way to northern New Mexico and Arizona, and that's going to bring some awfully cool temperatures to most of the plain states and here in the Pacific Northwest too, where our temperatures will be anywhere from 60 to 70% below where they should be for this time of year. And we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An East Wenatchee man allegedly fled from Wenatchee police this week and then crashed his car after they tried to stop him for warrants. Douglas County tax bills may rise after a reassessment of a major telecom company. And they say you can't fight City Hall, but apparently you can run into it. We'll tell you about that. But first, we begin tonight. For the second consecutive week, the number of COVID-19 cases increased in our area. The Chelan-Douglas Health District reported yesterday that in the weekly count that ended Wednesday, the rate of COVID-19 cases per 100,000 rose from 136 to 163. Over the course of the last month, the weekly count has gone from 162 down to 114 and then to 136 and now to 163. The goal of the COVID-19 cases in the two-county area remains at 25 cases per 100,000 over a two-week period, although Governor Inslee moved Chelan and Douglas counties into Phase 2 on Tuesday, and now some school districts in our area have either begun hybrid classes in school or have announced plans to do so. An East Wenatchee man allegedly fled from Wenatchee police this week and crashed his car after they tried to stop him for warrants. Luis G. Wallen was sought by the Department of Corrections when police spotted him driving in the 300 block of Malaga Avenue on Wednesday. He allegedly drove away at high speed and eventually jumped out of his car while it was still rolling, allowing it to crash into a parked car near Douglas and Idaho Street. Wallen now faces likely charges of eluding, obstructing, hit and run, reckless endangerment, and methamphetamine possession. Well, a paperwork error by a large telecommunications company may mean a major drop in Douglas County's property value and a corresponding tax increase for landowners. That's the warning from state legislators and the Department of Revenue after the telecom overreported the value of its major data center outside East Wenatchee. The error meant Douglas County declared a far higher property value than it was entitled to, which kept other property tax bills in the county artificially low. Now State Senator Brad Hawkins, who was briefed on the tax shift, says it could mean an extra $400 a year in taxes on a $500,000 home in the county starting in 2021. Douglas County Assessor Jim Rood and a Department of Revenue spokesperson say there's no way to know the true impact until property values are formally calculated in mid-November. Neither Rood nor the state agency would identify the telecom company. Hawkins said he fears the change in taxation could present some real hardships for property taxpayers next year, including families. Well, they say you can't fight City Hall, but apparently you can run into it. A semi-truck clipped the Kashmere City Hall building early Thursday afternoon, damaging the awning. City Clerk Treasurer Kay Jones said the damage was minor. The collision ripped off the corner of the awning a bit, and some fascia will need to be replaced, she said. It's not known yet if the semi-driver was cited in that accident. Well, coming up next, Wenatchee will start some in-class instruction for preschool through second grade students on Monday, November 2nd. The State Department of Ecology is offering free asbestos assessments to people who had structures damaged or destroyed in the region's wildfires this year. The first parking meters appear on Leavenworth downtown streets. And a police officer who formerly served as chief marshal of Coulee City and a patrol officer in Soap Lake is accused of workers' compensation fraud for her job as a pinup model. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hope, oxygen to your soul, color in your world, a light to your future.
Difficult to qualify and quantify.
Yet you know when it's lacking.
So many things have promised us hope,
but have left us feeling hopeless and empty.
Real hope is able to stand firm even on the darkest day of the soul and still say with the prophet Jeremiah,
"For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you.
Plans to give you a hope and a future."
The Apostle Paul declared to a young church in Rome,
"May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace,
as you trust in him,
so that you may overflow with hope
by the power of the Holy Spirit."
If our God is a God of hope, then maybe it's your turn to experience a hope that cannot be shaken
or destroyed.
And maybe it's time to hope again.
Maybe it's time to become a generation of hope.
What if the same God that raised Christ Jesus from the dead
can resurrect your hope?
Maybe it's time to hope again.
Welcome back. In another news, Wenatchee will start some in-class instruction for preschool through second grade students on Monday, November 2nd. After community-wide COVID-19 testing showed about a 1% positive rate in Wenatchee, the school district said they consulted with the Chelan Douglas Health District and decided to start returning students to the classrooms. If COVID-19 rates remain low to moderate, the district said it will look at returning grades 3 through 5 in 3 weeks, with other grades to follow. The classes will operate under a hybrid model with some daily in-person instruction and some online. Half of the students in a class will be on site in the morning and the other half in the afternoon. Well, the State Department of Ecology is offering free asbestos assessments to people who had structures damaged or destroyed in the region's wildfires this year. Ecology says many of the homes and buildings damaged by the fires are old enough to have asbestos concerns. The state will pay for a licensed and certified consultant to provide a limited assessment of the structure and then advise on the best way to manage the fire debris. Property owners need to contact their local emergency management agency or the Department of Ecology for a form they'll need to fill out prior to that assessment. Residents in Leavenworth woke up this week to the sight of their first public parking meters installed along downtown streets. The city has been moving toward metered street parking for a few years, ever since a parking study recommended the idea. Right now, parking on Front Street and other downtown areas is a first-come, first-served. The meters are not yet active, and there's no precise date for when they might start requiring fees. When they do, they'll accept payment through bank cards, and visitors will be able to find available parking spaces using a mobile app. Well, a police officer who formerly served as chief marshal of Coulee City and a patrol officer in Soap Lake is accused of workers' compensation fraud for her job as a pinup model. 47-year-old Brenda Lynn Cavaretto of Gold Bar was Coulee City's chief of police until 2012 when she was injured on the job. She then joined the Soap Lake force but left in 2013 due to work-related disability. But the Department of Labor and Industries says Cavaretto has continued to work as a pinup model and fundraising organizer despite filing claims for disability payments. She's scheduled to be arraigned Monday on 2 charges of making false or misleading statements to collect more than $67,000 in benefits. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
I have fiber at home because it allows me to do a great job in my profession. It allows me to learn things that I need to learn at home. It allows my kids to hopefully one day be able to be educated because of what they learned online and what they learned from their teachers. And it allows us to have fun too as a family. And we're able to do a lot of things because of fiber internet. I'm Rudy, and my family learns with fiber.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, and the first of what the Chelan-Douglas Health District says will be weekly video updates, Health Officer Dr. Malcolm Butler on Thursday talked about the results of community-wide COVID-19 testing in the two counties over the past several weeks. He said that sort of large-scale testing is not likely to continue.
I think many of you are aware we've been doing community-wide testing throughout the area. And recently we did a large-scale testing in Wenatchee. We had a huge response. We had, I think, 1,705 people who came in from the community to be tested. Thank you, everybody, for doing that. And we have those numbers back now. I imagine more will roll in over time. That seems to happen every time we do a large-scale testing. But I think we've got the bulk of them in already. And what I can tell you is that across all of the communities that we tested in the month of October, so far to date in October, and those are Eniot, East Wenatchee, Rock Island, Wenatchee, Mansfield, and Chelan Falls, we've tested a total of 2,100 people, and we've had a total of 34 positives. So that put the positivity rate at about 1.6%. What I've been telling everybody as we've done this testing throughout all of our communities is the prevalence rate. And so that is, as we test everybody, and I'm going to differentiate that from, say, people who just have symptoms, but as we test a whole bunch of people who have no symptoms and no reason to worry that they might be infected, it looks like about 1 to 2% of the population has COVID at any given moment. So if you imagine a school, say an elementary school, and in that elementary school there are 100 humans divided between the staff and the students, at any given time, 1 or 2 of them are probably contagious with COVID. That testing is incredibly expensive. It is about $150 per test. And so it's something that we've been able to afford up until now. And I think going forward, we're not going to be able to afford the same kind of broad community-based testing that we've been doing. However, testing will continue. We do have a community testing site for Chelan and Douglas counties right now that is in downtown Wenatchee on Emerson Street. It's being operated by Confluence Health. We also have testing available at primary care providers, at Cascade Medical Center, at Columbia Valley Community Health, and also at Confluence Health. So I want everybody to hear we have a very low threshold for testing. If you or anybody you know might have been exposed to COVID, please come in, let us know you think you've been exposed, and we will test you.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast as we head into this upcoming weekend. Before we get to the details, about a beautiful shot outside from our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. Our cross camera caught this afternoon. We did see some of those dark cumulonimbus clouds move in today. We did see some shower activity. I know some of our Sky-Fi cameras, especially around Blag Mountain and some other higher elevation cameras, did see some rainfall out there today. Scattered showers throughout the valley too, but a lot of wind in some locations, especially around Moses Lake, Mansfield, over into Waterville as well, about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Things stayed fairly calm in the Wenatchee area, and temperatures not bad today. They could climb unofficially to 65 degrees. 61 is our normal high for this time of year. 46 the overnight low. 41 is our normal overnight low. 77 our record. That was in 1963. Record low 30 degrees in 1989. Sunrise this morning 7:22, and it will set for us tonight at 6:10. Almost this afternoon with sunrise, right? Let's take a look now at how your Saturday will shape up as we get into the upcoming weekend. Temperature-wise, just a little bit cooler than today. Other than that, not a lot of change. We will see partly to mostly cloudy skies. 63 for Moses Lake, 62 in Quincy and Ephrata. You folks in Ellensburg as well. 61 in Wenatchee. Not bad for Leavenworth tomorrow. A little chilly at 58 and 59. The high temperature to kick off the weekend up in Omak. Tonight we'll continue to see some windy conditions here in the Wenatchee Valley, about 10 to 20 miles an hour. A little bit stronger still over in the Columbia Basin. Those should ease a bit after midnight tonight. We will see partly to mostly cloudy skies. Showers too, especially on the west side of the Cascades. For us on Saturday, we'll start off with partly cloudy skies, increasing clouds throughout the day, and then by tomorrow afternoon, this little system will move in, and that'll bring us about a 20% chance for mainly overnight showers on Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday, mostly cloudy skies as this system does work its way down from the northwest, and that'll up our chances for some rainfall to about 30%. We could even see some heavier rain around the Seattle metro area this weekend. On Monday, partly cloudy skies. You can see high pressure off the coast. That will be a real weather force as we make our way through next week. Monday, partly cloudy, as I mentioned, and nice temperatures Monday around 60, maybe some lower 60s. On Tuesday, mostly cloudy. We'll still stay with those normal high temperatures, but all of this blue is cold air, and it's beginning to slide down. We will see some of the clouds from that on Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, our skies will turn mostly sunny, but more of that air will creep down, and we will cool down here in the Wenatchee area on Wednesday. Not bad, though. Nothing like Montana, who will only see 20s and 30s for highs. We'll probably go down into the mid and upper 50s on Wednesday, and then maybe a little bit cooler as we get into Thursday. Mostly sunny with high temperatures slightly cooler than normal, but look at all of that cold air in the blue, and it's sliding all the way down into central Colorado. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling 7-day forecast. 47 mild degrees overnight tonight, 61 tomorrow, partly cloudy, just a slight chance of maybe some nighttime rain showers. 56 on Sunday. That will be our best shot at rain through the next 6 or 7 days. 44 the overnight low temperature. 59 then as we start our work week on Monday. Low 60s Tuesday, and then another cool down into the upper 50s Wednesday. And by the time we get into late next week on Thursday, mostly sunny with a high temperature of 56 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today. Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
NCWLIFE channel, in conjunction with Skeeter Buggins Productions, is proud to present the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra's first concert of the season, this Friday at 7 o'clock. Enjoy the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires by Piazzolla and Le Quattro Stagioni by Vivaldi, conducted by Nicholas Cooli. Violin soloist is Brittany Breeden. Join us for this special musical event Friday at 7 o'clock on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. It may not have been as dramatic as Babe Ruth calling his shot in Game 3 of the 1932 World Series between the Yankees and Cubs, but Houston's Carlos Correa called his walk-off home run last night against Tampa Bay. Correa stepped up with one out in the bottom of the ninth in Game 5 of the American League Championship Series with the game tied at 3. He says he told his manager Dusty Baker before going to the plate that he was going to hit a walk-off home run. Sure enough, he belted a 1-1 pitch off Rays reliever Nick Anderson over the center field wall and saved Houston's season, at least for one more game. Baker says he said a little prayer as Correa headed for the plate.
You know, Carlos told me, you know, before he went up there, he goes, you know, walk off. And I said, go ahead on, man. And then I said a prayer to my dad and my brother. And I said, Lord, please let us walk off, because if not, we got to use Framber, and then we don't have Framber tomorrow, you know, to start. So, you know, things couldn't have worked out any better at that time, because we were down to, Framber was warming up, and we were down to, I think, Snead, and let's see, I think that might have been, you know, been it. And you have nightmares of going, you know, 15 innings or something, and that was, boy, that was as big a game as I've ever been involved in. I mean, everybody was just jumping up and down and pouring ice, and Carlos was going crazy, as he usually does when he does something spectacular like that. And you know, we were just, I mean, I was grateful and thankful and happy, you know, all at the same time. And you know, we get to play, you know, another day.
Correa says he went into the batting cage during the game to work on a swing and knew he'd come up with something big as the game wore on.
After my second at bat, I went in the cage. Cintron called me, and he told me a couple of things in the cage that made my swing feel great. Once again, my first two at bats were not that great. I was a little disconnected. He told me what to do, how to stand at the plate, and the third at bat, I hit the liner on the sinker down back to the middle, and everything clicked there. You know, once that clicked, after that at bat, I went back in the cage with him. I said, let me feel it again. And we felt it, and I was like, wow, this feels good. So when I went out at bat, I told Altuve, walking off the field, I said, I'm going to end it. You know, I could feel that my swing was in sync. I could feel that my rhythm was good. I could feel that, you know, I wanted to drive the ball, and I felt like I could do it. So, you know, when he threw me a fastball, I saw it good, and I was able to drive the center field like I wanted to.
See, that's cool. That's a little insight that people don't know about, that the guys actually go into the batting cage during the game to try to correct something that happened in their last at bat. Correa's home run, by the way, one of 5 dingers hit between the two teams last night. George Springer started the game off with a homer for Houston before Correa ended it. Brandon Lau, Randy Rosarina, and Ji-Man Choi also hit home runs for Tampa Bay. The two teams play Game 6 today on TBS, featuring Framber Valdez versus Blake Snell. Well, Freddie Freeman's RBI double started a 6-run 6th-inning onslaught, and Atlanta beat Los Angeles 10-4 in Game 4 of the NLCS last night. With the game tied at 1 and Clayton Kershaw pitching well for the Dodgers, Atlanta began the 6th with a single by Ronald Acuna, who moved to second on a throwing error. Freeman's double scored Acuna, and then Marcell Ozuna followed with an RBI single. Kershaw was lifted, but the damage was done. Braves went on to score 4 runs in the inning to hand Kershaw the loss. Dodger manager Dave Roberts was asked if he maybe should have removed Kershaw earlier in the game.
Yeah, you know what? I just think that inning, you know, they were just, the Albies ball, the Swanson ball was a ground ball. You know, the Riley ball, just kind of, they were just finding holes. It just kind of baseball, and we just couldn't find a way to limit damage. Oh, absolutely not. I think that he came out and, you know, 5 innings, 1 run, and then, you know, again, we just, you know, what happened right there in that 6th inning. But he gave us a chance to win the baseball game. You know, we couldn't put any runs up early and get a lead and or hold a lead, you know, after the Eddie home run, but that narrative couldn't be further from here. And he did a nice job of working the outside part of the plate, inside the part of the plate to both left and right hitters, and we just couldn't square him up consistently enough.
He was talking about Atlanta's 22-year-old rookie right-hander Bryce Wilson, who was dominant over 6 innings, allowing 1 run on 1 hit with 5 strikeouts and a walk. Marcell Ozuna finished the game 4 for 5 with 3 runs, 4 RBIs, and 2 home runs. Braves go for the series win tonight at 6:08 on FS1 when A.J. Minter goes up against the Dodgers' Dustin May. Well, the Indianapolis Colts are the latest NFL team affected by positive tests for the COVID-19 this week. According to ESPN's member of the Colts organization tested positive this week, so the organization closed practice facility yesterday. Today determined that the tests were false positives. Colts game with Cincinnati still on for Sunday as scheduled. Atlanta Falcons also closed their facility yesterday following a second positive test for COVID-19. It was reopened today. Tennessee Titans played Tuesday following a 16-day layoff because of an outbreak, and the New England Patriots have twice had their original Week 5 matchup against Denver postponed, followed 4 positive tests. College football also has been affected by COVID-19. Alabama coach Nick Saban tested positive this week. He says he's asymptomatic and hopes to coach this Saturday against Georgia. Hey, here's a reminder what's coming up this weekend here on the NCW Life channel. Begins tonight with some non-sports items. Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra's first concert of the season at 7 o'clock, followed by the documentary Saving Rihanna at 9. And then this weekend we have Wenatchee and Moses Lake Volleyball from last October at 2 o'clock. That's on Saturday afternoon. I was courtside for your play-by-play of that match from last October here on the NCW Life channel. That'll be followed by racing at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval from July 11th, North Valley Mechanical Night on that night. Then on Sunday we have Wenatchee Wild doubleheader. First at 2 o'clock, it's the Wild and Prince George Spruce Kings. That's followed by the Wild and Nanaimo Clippers at 7, all right here on your local TV station, the NCW Life channel. I'm also heading to deer camp this weekend, going to enjoy some time with some family. If you're out there hunting, be careful, and if you're out there walking or hiking on the trails, be careful as well. Might want to wear some non-deer colored outfits. That's Sports News. Grant, back to you.
Good plan, Eric. Thank you very much. And as we leave you on this Friday night, among the Wenatchee Indians and other Columbia River tribes, the return of salmon to the Columbia traditionally carries a blessing. Tomorrow, Wenatchee elder Randy Lewis performs that blessing virtually in a program organized by the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. Before the blessing, expect a series of videos to demonstrate how to build your own traditional fire pit. The event takes place at 3 p.m. Saturday via Zoom, and you must be a museum member to participate. You can register through the museum's website or its Facebook page. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. I hope everybody has a really nice weekend starting Monday on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and all of next week. During the conversation portion of this program, we're talking Make a Difference Day, the 30th. Make a Difference Day for the Wenatchee Valley is Saturday, October 24th, and we're going to be talking Make a Difference Day all next week. I'll Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Gonna love it. Pick your project for Saturday the 24th. We'll help you along. And also we'll have everything else you need to start your next work week Monday at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Dan, and have a great weekend. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
The NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station.